one of the questions we've been getting a lot with the Lowrance Recon is just the speed of the trolling motor. And that has always been kind of a pet peeve of mine. I like to have a fast foot pedal, you know, especially fishing wing dams, fishing current, fishing big waves. I feel like sometimes you have to be really aggressive, and too slow of a foot pedal, it's just too slow of a response. And so that was one of the things we wanted with the Recon, is a very fast foot pedal. And so the wireless foot pedal on the Recon has got a proportional foot pedal where you're looking at about 40 to 45 RPMs. It's fast, okay? At the same time, for some things, for some fishing presentations, it might be too aggressive or it's too fast. And so by design, all the things that you have to steer the Recon have a different RPM range, so in that way you can find the best match. And so, for example, say if you're pulling bottom bouncers and spinners along a contour, maybe you're trolling crankbaits, maybe you're running planer boards. A lot of times I want my hands free and I'm moving throughout the boat, and I don't want to carry my foot pedal around with me, and so that's where I'm using the remote. And so the freestyle joystick with the remote, you're looking at about 20 RPMs, and so it's a little bit slower, okay? The other option that you have for steering the boat with the foot pedal, besides the proportional steering, which is about 40 to 45 RPMs, is this arrow feature on the bottom. And so again, if it's really calm out, I'm pulling bottom bouncers, I just want to follow a 10-foot contour, you can use the depth routing feature right on your Lowrance HDS Pro, or you can just use the arrow feature where it's just a little slower. And so this is about half the speed of your proportional foot pedal. And so you can kind of match up the boat steering with the presentation. When you need to steer fast and be very aggressive, use a proportional foot pedal. When you need to just slightly turn the trolling motor in increments, that's where your arrows or your joystick come in. And a couple of examples, if I'm panning and looking with forward-facing sonar, for example, I'm going to use a proportional foot pedal because I can just turn that motor so fast, okay? And then you get a glimpse of fish, then you try to find the fish, maybe the wind's pushing against the boat, boat's moving all over, and you're just trying to line up on that fish. But when you start to get that transducer facing right at that fish, you just need to make almost like a micro adjustment just to try to figure out where the center is so you can make the perfect cast of that fish. And so then a lot of times I'll switch to the arrows on the bottom just because it's going to be just a slower speed where you just make just slight adjustments, okay? And so fast, aggressive adjustments, foot pedal, slower, slight adjustments, the remote, or the arrows on the foot pedal. So when it comes to walleye fishing and walleye fishing presentations in particular, I feel like the engineers with Lowrance nailed this particular trolling motor because it does everything that you wish a trolling motor would do.